making sure that the environment is taken care of and that people's needs are taken care of, because that would be the first step.
Woo! Clap.
Right. Second question will be, you see, now there's a lot of MNC company, a multinational company right here, right? Now, you see, if you want, in order for you to increase the economy here, because many people are still working in multinational company and small businesses. Now, they came here to invest and they do business here. Now, if you look at the semiconductor companies, all right, Japan, they are the one who brought in here. Now, Japan itself, the recent tsunami happens and the nuclear, it's also affected the labor here, right? So what would be the best solution that you can give them in order to move on? See, that's where, for us. Yes, because we are the one who makes the economy grow for Malaysia. Am I right? So that is what my question is all about. Back to you.
Okay, so I'd just like to clarify. So you're talking about the effect of Japan disasters on us and how we can move to overcome that here. All right, well, this comes down to globalization. Okay, because of globalization, the world is now so interconnected, not just socially but also economically, right? We depend on production lines from Japan and Korea, etc., etc. And so when one part in the manufacturing line is broken, the what would you call it? The distribution line would be broken, right? And our production would be affected. So I think the solution for that would be a somewhat more balanced approach where we are independently sustained. You know, the keyword here would be independence. You have to be able to sustain yourself so that you are able to survive without outside help. But at the same time, we don't want to shut out foreign help, and talent transfer, technology transfer, skill transfer, things like that are very vital for growth. But that is for secondary growth. We just have to make sure that without that growth, we are still capable of surviving by ourselves. So once again, it comes to making sure that our economy is strong enough to survive winds or tsunamis in other countries. Thank you.
Woo!
Sorry, I don't get your name. You are Marina Tan. You mentioned about renewable energy. So I would like to ask your opinion on nuclear energy. So we have seen in the news there are pros and cons argued by both sides on nuclear energy. So what is the feasibility of nuclear energy in Malaysia, and how do you think it will affect our sustainability in the long run?
Thank you. I think that's an excellent question, and it's something that I've actually been thinking about myself, right? In wake of the disaster, one very stark difference you have to take into account between Japan and Malaysia is geographic location. Okay, as we all know, I've had this drummed into me in 3 years of geography, that Malaysia is located in a very, very safe location. Okay, so yes, Penang was slightly affected by the 2004 tsunami, but not to an extent where 10-meter high walls would come and like wash down seawalls. So nuclear power is something that we have to be very careful when dealing with. Okay, it's like building a plane. You don't build a plane with slipshod materials and with less than perfect overseeing, right? Because that would jeopardize lives. In the same scenario, nuclear power is something that Malaysia can only undertake when we have the sufficient infrastructure in place and the technology and the labor. A very huge problem that we face here in Malaysia, I'm sorry to all Malaysians, but is that we have a reputation of not exactly carrying things out ideally, the way we're supposed to. We're not exactly the most disciplined people on earth, okay? So that's an issue we have to tackle first. Alright, the thing about Japan was that the world saw exactly how disciplined the Japanese people were. And to have a disaster like that happen to them, even though, yes, there was a mistake in the engineering, but you could see that because of that discipline, a lot of the damage that could have been much worse was avoided. And that's something that Malaysia has to cultivate first. We need that culture of discipline and responsibility before we can even think about playing with something as powerful as nuclear power. On the more scientific side, right now a lot of people are using nuclear fission, but there are new theories that would recommend people to use nuclear fusion as a safer alternative to nuclear fission. But I'm not a nuclear scientist, so I wouldn't really be able to answer all of that. But I think that nuclear power is one of the resources that people should harness in the near future. But once again, we have to take our time. It's something we have to get to, but I would say just not yet.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Marina.